Hello, coaches. Welcome to the Coach C Basketball Analytics Podcast. Today, I want to share my thoughts on the NCAA Men's Division I Final Four, culminating with Michigan's championship win. Let me start with this. Just because it's the final game of the season, it doesn't mean the anxiety level should take over decision-making. If anything, this is where your identity, your preparation, and your commitment to analytics should show up the most. Championships are not won on emotion alone. They are won on clarity, discipline, and execution of what got you there. But that doesn't mean one model fits every game. You still have to adjust. To me, this Final Four became a clear example of finesse versus power. And unfortunately, due to a lack of adjustments, the finesse teams did not make it to the final. Michigan's strength and physicality prevailed. Now, that raises an important question for all of us as coaches. What lessons are we taking from this? Because I would hate to see the game shift toward recruiting only size and strength, almost like football type bodies, and move away from skill, creativity, and flow. The game should still be about developing players who can run, think, create, and explore their abilities, not just overpower opponents. In the final game and throughout the season, Michigan leaned fully into its identity. They imposed their physicality, controlled the tempo, and stayed within their comfort zone. On the other side, UConn tried to respond, but not in a way that matched their personnel. Instead of stretching the floor and exploring their players' abilities, especially with Mara being pulled outside, we saw possessions where smaller players were forced to play with their back to the basket. There was no strategy to pull Mara out of the lane, out of Michigan's protected area. And UConn's offense was not spreading Michigan's defense. That is not playing to your strengths. Offensively, UConn did not consistently create situations that allowed their players to operate in space. They approached Michigan as if both teams had the same characteristics, and that played right into Michigan's hands. A low-scoring game benefits the more physical team. That was the trap, and UConn fell into it. Cadeau was the point guard controlling the game. That's where an adjustment could have been made. A combo defense could have been used to adjust matchups, apply pressure on the ball, deny Cadeau the pass, and not allow him to control the offensive balance and rhythm. Instead, he was allowed to play comfortably and dictate tempo. At the same time, defensive adjustments could have been made to prevent Mara from being so dominant inside the lane. Too often, he was left one against one, playing right into Michigan's strength. By mixing defenses, including pressure defense, you create hesitation, you disrupt flow, and you force different decisions. More importantly, mixing defenses would have forced Michigan to play outside its comfort zone. Pressure defense and combo defense could have been used to decrease Michigan's power and strength advantage while changing the rhythm of the game. One key point is this: playing a half-court game and the lack of a stretch game did not tilt the game to UConn's comfort zone. Force a team that is strong physically but not as versatile to play a stretch game, not a half-court game. That disruption did not happen. That adjustment never came. On the contrary, Michigan applied a containment type of pressure defense after made free throws with the objective of slowing down UConn's offensive rhythm and keeping the game in their comfort zone. And when you allow the main guard to control the game and their bigs to take advantage inside the lane, you are playing Michigan's game, and that's what happened to UConn. In summary, the key data-driven strategies and analytical opportunities were not explored. This limited UConn's ability to maximize shot attempts per possession and point production per possession, and kept the game in Michigan's favor. I am sure the game plan included numbers, but not the ones that could have tilted the game toward UConn. The game stayed where Michigan wanted it, and that allowed their power to prevail. As a coach who believes in a full-court analytics-driven approach, I hope we don't overreact to this outcome. The answer is not to abandon finesse or skill development. The answer is to better integrate it with strategy, tempo control, and the ability to adjust in the game. From a spectator standpoint, unless you were emotionally invested in one of the teams, this was not a dynamic game. Shot selection, pace, and the lack of adjustments made it predictable. But for all of us as coaches, there is value in that. At the end of the day, this game came down to identity and adjustments. Michigan stayed within its comfort zone. UConn did not do enough to take them out of it, and that's the takeaway. If we are not willing to adjust, disrupt, and force teams to play outside what they do best, then we are playing the game on their terms. And one last thought, I just hope we don't take the wrong lesson from this. I would hate to see the game move toward putting 5 players on the floor that look more like football players than basketball players. There still has to be space for skill, creativity, and for players to explore their game. The fans want showtime. Players feel better playing a stretched game It's more exciting, it opens the floor, and it allows talent to be seen. And the reality is, it makes the sport better and more marketable. Coaches, that wraps up today's episode. My goal is always to add value to the game, to challenge how we think, and to encourage you to look outside the box, take risks, be audacious, and embrace the pressure that comes with competition. I look forward to having you back on the next episode. Thanks for listening.